broadcast now, and it will start there in 1 minute. So the last preparations. Okay, I pressed the button. It's now live. And we will start just in a minute. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm very glad to welcome you at our Intellias Bike Talk. You know, this is our final event of the bigger project called the Ecomobility Summer. Here at Intellias, we believe that the bicycle is a solution to almost every question in the life. So yeah, because it helps you to keep healthy and fit, it doesn't cause any environmental damage, it contributes to sustainable mobility. So basically, that's the perfect thing. That's why we have launched this project. It consisted of different educational and entertainment activities. We were learning traffic rules here in Ukraine. We were cycling around different cities. You can actually check our Instagram and see some of really nice bike walks and enjoy the views and the perspective of our colleagues. We also gathered and reached the goal of 2,100 kilometers together. We had a challenge, and I always believed that the Intellias team will make it, and we did it even faster than it was planned. Then we did some special yoga for cyclists, and in Krakow in Poland, we had the whole range of activities. And here in Lviv, where I'm now, we had really outstanding kids festive race, the Vohonka. It was like a lot of people and a lot of kids cycling, competing. It was really nice. And today we gathered here online from different parts of the world to get to know personal experience of our colleagues. We have here Victor, who is currently living in Porto, but also can mention Brazil sometimes, right? We have Artem, who moved to Krakow not so long ago, as I know. We have Anastasia, who is in Kyiv, but also has some experience of cycling somewhere else. And Valentin, who will share about how to cycle in Zagreb, Croatia. And my name is Sasha Chuchko. Here it's written in Intellias webinar, don't believe it, please. I live in the beautiful city of Lviv, and honestly, I believe this city has the best infrastructure for cyclists in the whole Ukraine, but maybe we will learn something else today. And only one thing that I would like to mention also, that this project also has really important part, it's fundraiser. We discovered that ecomobility is needed not only in cities for people, right, and for mobility, but also on the front line. Our defenders can really use some powerful electric bikes that can be really fast, they can recharge fast, and what's very important, it can help our soldiers to stay unnoticed. And sometimes this electrical bicycles can be the only mean of transportation for several tasks. So I invite everyone to click the link in the description and join this fundraiser, donate any any comfortable amount of money, and we will deliver really nice bikes to defenders so they can really do their job quietly and safely. And now let's get to know our guest closer. Dear colleagues, the mic is yours, so please introduce yourself a bit. Maybe let's start with Nastya.
Hi, I'm from Kyiv, and since I remember myself, I think I've been riding a bike from the young age, and that's, in my opinion, a perfect way for everything, like workout, a way of sightseeing new cities, and just also a way to commute to work or to another destination. So thanks for inviting. And I hope we will have a great discussion today.
Great, thank you. Artem, can you be next?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Artem. I'm 37 years old here. So again, same story like for Anastasia, and my bicycle started a long age ago when I was a little kid, maybe age of 3 or 4 or something. So I consider a bicycle for myself not only as a tool, but really as a lifestyle, and it's like incorporated so much into my lifestyle. So I can't even imagine life without a bicycle. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Victor, how about you? Do you cycle also from your childhood?
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. Yeah, I cycle since my childhood, but as a hobby, as something I like to do to relax the mind on weekends, to meet new places, to make something different. So I think riding bicycles is a really good hobby.
I totally agree. Valentin, your turn.
Yeah, hi. I'm Valentine, 24 years old. I also met with bicycle long time ago in my childhood, and from there I've been in and off in different periods of my life. For me, biking is about lifestyle, hanging with friends, a little bit less commuting and this kind of stuff. But in general, like having fun and enjoy the life.
That sounds really nice. So we have here not only people from different cities, right, but also with different backgrounds, but mostly everyone is like super skilled, right? Okay, let's start. So today in agenda, we have 3 main topics. Yeah, I was interested in infrastructure and then traffic rules and bike culture, how it differs from city to city. But if you have any questions that you're interested in, don't hesitate and just write them in comments, and I will read them out loud so our speakers can share and answer. So yeah. Okay, Victor, I've seen some pictures of Porto, and it looks like a lot of bike lanes are next to the ocean. How does it feel to ride there? Is it like nice and comfy, or the wind just blows you off when you go there?
Well, talking about the ocean, the Porto specific ocean, it's a little cold because the wind is really cold there. But I have to say, it's a really beautiful view. And for someone like me, I like to ride bicycle on the weekends. This is a really relaxing activity, so it's nice to go through the ocean. Also talking about Portugal, there is a similar one in Lisbon, where instead of the ocean, we ride the bicycle through the edge of Tagus River. It's also very beautiful. It's something really nice to relax, really nice to meet new places. There are a lot of restaurants, a lot of touristic attractions. So here in Portugal and also in Lisbon, it's amazing.
Nice. I also seen that you have these bike lanes. They are marked by green color, not red one like we have in here in Ukraine, for example. Is it often, or is it something very rare?
There are 2 bike paths, the green one and the red one. From the avenues that I already rode, I remember that next to my house there was one that was red red bicycle path, but I don't know the difference between them. I don't
Okay.
know if we have difference between.
Because it might look, the green one is where you're allowed to cycle, and then the red one, no, don't go there. But okay. Artem, how do you think Wisla can compete with an ocean, or is it something different? And right?
Well, I still believe among all of us here in the panel discussion, the Portugal has the most iconic and spectacular view. Once you're riding a bike, being it ocean side, being it mountain side, or somewhere in like UNESCO heritage village, somewhere in the middle of the Portugal. Whereas at the same time, I was really surprised when discovered the Poland bicycle infrastructure. And if you're not touching Krakow, let's say 100 or even not 100, 30, 40 kilometers far from Krakow on the south, you'll see first hills of Tatras Mountains, right, which is part of Carpathian. Once you get to the Zakopane, oh yeah, I guess there is something equal to Portugal view as well. So yeah, that kind of thing.
You can cycle straight from Krakow to mountains? Is there like the whole bike lane or?
Well, there is a loop of around 200 kilometers, I believe, with some elevation gains up to 3+ something, or maybe I mistake something. But again, like 2,000 kilometers, you have to be like fit for this. It's not in a one lifetime experience. However, it's not a weekend journey anyway. If you do this like a hobby, not incorporated as a like sport and training instrument in your life. So yeah, maybe next year. It's a sort of challenge or big dream or goal, but I still not decided where to go, solo or with the group of people. So yeah, but it's on the plate. Yeah, for sure.
We wish you luck, and we think you will make it.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice, Tom. Honestly, I really admire when in Strava I see how you cycle around Kyiv. But tell me, please, isn't it dangerous to cycle there? It's like so a lot of cars, and as from what I remember, it's not so a lot of bike lanes in Kyiv.
It's a funny question because I remember that a few years, not like few, even like 10 years ago, like the infrastructure was totally different. It was really like a challenge to just ride your bike on the carriageway. But right now, I believe and I noticed that Kyiv is getting better and better with this bike culture, and more bike lanes appear, and sometimes you feel like I need to be careful because I'm not a pedestrian and I'm not a driver. I'm something in the middle, so I should think for both sides, and it's just a matter of preparation, like equipment that you put on, and then planning your trip, your day. So in general, it's really safe. Just think and plan it, so everything will be well.
Great. And did you happen to move across these bridges from the left bank to the right bank?
Yeah. Like honestly, sometimes I use pedestrian lane because I feel like I will make less damage, and I just want a normal ride, and I don't want to hurt anyone. So for me, it's safer to use this. Right now, it's empty, so there aren't any pedestrians. But then, you can ride on the extreme right of the carriageway, and it's completely normal. Just don't turn left and don't cause any damage. So it's I advise and recommend to have a good trip around Kyiv.
Maybe next time when we'll be there, I will rent a bike and try.
I will remember it.
Okay, I've seen actually this pieces of infrastructure, especially near the circus. They have made this line, and it looks really nice. And it's almost not parked with the cars,
Yeah. And indeed, like Kyiv made a deal with international organizations like 5 or 4 years ago, and that's why more bike lanes and infrastructure in general for cyclists has been appearing. So I think we're on the way to the good way for riding a bike in Kyiv.
Yeah, let's hope all of this will happen. Okay, Valentin, how do you feel? Is it comfortable to cycle down the streets of Zagreb?
Yeah, it's actually very comfortable if I compare with Odessa, where I lived before. In Odessa, it's quite bad situation with bike lines, but we have like a huge bike line that goes across the sea shore, like from city center to the very far part of the city, but in only one direction. So I was used to ride only there, and it's like an autobahn for bicycles and rollers and all kind of crazy people. And you can like ride, I don't know, any speed you can possibly achieve, like 40 kilometers easy. Yeah, but in Zagreb here, it's more about commuting on bicycles. People are going to work, going to, I don't know, visit friends, etc. They're using more old-fashioned bikes. The city is better equipped with you can easily cross the roads and all kind of the stuff. So there is no limitation for your movement because you can ride anywhere. There is some bike lines, but I don't think that you should always follow them because you can just ride on pedestrian lines and you will be okay. Overall, I really like how it is in Zagreb, and I think that the very important part here is bike culture here is better, and cars drivers are like more polite to bike people. Yeah.
They don't call people on the bicycles crunches, right? Because in Ukraine we have this joke. It's very bad. I really don't like it. But sometimes when drivers are angry with the cyclists, they say, "Oh, the crunch is there," because when they hit them, they make this sound. Super bad joke. I'm super sorry. I really hope we will like improve so much that we will forget about it forever. Thank you, guys, and. Nastya, okay, so I have another question. You can answer like randomly. Do you often see women cycling in your cities? I will explain why I'm asking, because in a lot of researches, the amount of girls and women cycling shows how safe and how actually infrastructure is developed in the city. So it's kind of, the chance to measure and rate a city somehow. So yeah, how do you feel? What's the amount or percentage of women cycling in your cities? Mute.
It's a tough question, but I would say it's much better in Zagreb than in Odessa. And here I can see women and kids on bikes like in 9 p.m. at night, like
Wow.
easy. They just going somewhere. Like in Odessa, it's not like that, and it's a bit dangerous. Also on this road that I mentioned, the big bike lane in Odessa, it's quite dangerous at night in summer because there is a lot of nightclubs, and in the evening it's a lot of people who are going to get drunk, and early in the morning they go out from the club and just having bad times there as well. Yeah.
You're talking about this healthy line, right? That goes next to
like health pathway or so.
Health pathway.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's healthy. Yeah.
So,
yeah, if I may add, so I would assume and evaluate the percentage of male and female cyclists in Krakow, at least for gender equality. So there is hard to say like who is riding the bike most right now.
wow.
much. So again, the great example with the women and their kids, both like big bikes, small bikes around, or big trailers with a bunch of kids there, and like mother riding the bike with this trailer. So same goes for the time they ride the bike, I guess. It's normally for family, it's a go out after normal working hours with their kids and families to ride the bike across the district for 5-7 kilometers just to get relaxed, and refresh themselves, that kind of thing. So, there is no, gender equality. That's the point. That's the point.
That's really nice. I think in Kyiv, it's not like this, right?
Yeah, I noticed myself, so it means that women are on the road. So also I noticed that here there are not extremely, but a lot of bike associations and organizations, and people organize into a team, and it's really cute to see like couples or just friends. They gather. For them, it's a great way to spend the weekend to relax. It's really cool when sport is a way to relax, because it's about energy, and if it's with your friends, you aren't scared of riding a bike. And actually I didn't even think about it, because a lot of my friends like cycling, and I noticed more and more people on the street, and especially in the parks, because with kids you you don't go on the roads, so like to this traffic, especially in the day with traffic jams. But in the park, family go for it, and it's like a company, or like a group of ducks when there are the main ducks and a little one. So I see that it's changing. Maybe it's not so good as in European countries, which are more bike friendly, but now it's still good, like from my point of view.
Let's say for now, but it's
for now.
Right?
yeah.
Victor, how do you evaluate amount of female cyclists in Portugal?
I don't know how to say it about Portugal, because I don't know if there is a difference between men's and women's. I'm always seeing also men's riding bicycles and also women's riding bicycles. But in Brazil, I see that there is a difference. I see that majority of the people riding bicycles, and also groups of people who do mountain bikes and things like that, are men's. So I see that difference in Brazil, but I think I'm not able to say it about Portugal. I had to observe better this.
Nice. So yeah, we see a little bit of difference, but yeah, as for Ukraine, let's move towards this gender equality, right? And not only gender, but also age is important. Okay, so let's talk about traffic rules. In Ukraine, it's like more flexible, right? You can use pedestrian roads, you can use bike lanes where they are, you can use just a road for cars, right? But I know sometimes these rules can be harsh, and you can get fined, right? You can be stopped by police. So yeah, let's talk a bit about this more. Nastya, as we started let's start from Ukraine, right? As I mentioned already, maybe it's not that much regulated, but have you ever seen someone fined, or in general bike patrol in Kyiv, for example?
Like, honestly, like, it's a miracle for me, because I usually don't see it. But we have regulated set of rules and unregulated set of rules, like with the pedestrian lane, because if we follow the rules, it's forbidden to ride on pedestrian lanes. But what can we do if there's no bike lane? I can fly. So for in this case, we're using this, and then we are happier each time when we notice new bike lane. but also in Ukraine, like this typical European gestures, like outstretched your hand when you turn aside, or raise your hand if you want to stop. Also, what I like is the amount of signs, because there are signs, and people learn, not only drivers, but also like cyclists. And I think it's what I would like to add to the system, that pedestrians also learn rules, because it's like a game for kids in the kindergarten, but then at schools and at universities, if you don't have a driver exam, you can not know it. So I would add this as an important lesson to the educational system.
That's really nice. Actually, if you remember, we had a bike school here in Lviv. We have really nice guys from Bike Patrol. They're actually patrolling around the city. They have their teams, and they catch this cyclist who break rules and pass in the places that is not allowed to, or pedestrians as well. And they make like a lecture for them, so you cannot do this, you need to do that. And but they're like in this American movies, they're so caring for the health and well-being of everyone. They're like super nice. I think someone has to make a movie about them.
Like saint people of roads.
Yeah, exactly. Artem, how do you find this situation in Poland?
So it should be viewed. I'll give a view on a different standpoint, right, from the infrastructure standpoint. So the Poland, I cannot say much about other cities than Warsaw and Krakow, for instance, right? But let's use that examples. So for instance, for Krakow, the infrastructure is so great, it can be compared to the Netherlands bicycle infrastructure, with the difference that there is not that big stretch between the cities, right? So, but within the city, you can get from A to B almost everything, using the bike lanes, crossing the bike crossing roads, not riding into pedestrian sidewalks or whatsoever, which is at least limited amount of time when you can possibly violate the traffic rules, almost none to nothing, right, close to zero. At the same time, there is a situation, and I was a witness one of which, where imagine that picture in your mind, that pedestrian crossing, but pure pedestrian crossing, and bicycle, the cyclist supposed to, dismount himself from the bike and do the walking from this pedestrian. From time to time, it's happened that people forget to do so. I don't know the reason why. And I saw one that the police patrol catch one of the person who violated this rule and ride the pedestrian crossing on his bike without dismounting himself. So, and I get he got the fine. So this person got the fine. So I saw that personally. So it's better not to fall in that case, and be cautious and patient about it. So it's better to spend additional 30 seconds, but be within the law, so to speak. It's infrastructure wise. So again, there is the human factors may cause. So you simply, it's a flat structure here in Krakow. There is no such hills or slopes when you can speed up, or a little small one within the city. So, and it's about the speed. So you can't really, get into the up to 40, as Valentin mentioned, in Odessa, for instance, somewhere in the middle of the city, only for specific lanes, which may also be cause of or crash, right? Or someone may fall and get injured, which is not the case. So infrastructure, they kind of protect it, right? So, and in regards of, again, traffic rules, right? So there is a separate traffic lights for cyclists and pedestrians. They can be combined and can be closed, but they exist, and it's already a miracle, especially comparing to other cities in Ukraine as well, or even in Poland. So that will be my answer.
Nice. In Lviv, we start noticing more and more these traffic lights. They look really cute with the small bicycles on it. So yeah, hopefully we will have more of them. Thank you, Valentin. Do you have any kind of bike patrol there, or any other interesting things about traffic rules?
To be honest, I've spent in Croatia like 5 months so far, and I seen police like maybe 5 times for this period. Everyone is extremely relaxing here, which feels great. So on the road, cars don't even beep at each other or bike people. So it's very easy to use infrastructure because you will cross the road only in like dedicated space. I'm not sure if I can or cannot cross the road without dismounting from the bike. But I haven't seen anyone doing this so far. But I think it's related to the fact that everyone is very relaxed here. And also city is very flat, especially the central part. And you can't really gain the speed on the road because there is like every, I don't know, 500 meters, there will be a road crossing or some sort of, I don't know, some artificial stoppers that like, hey, don't speed up. And if you want to speed up, you can go to the mountains. That is just like a half of hour away from Zagreb, and there is a big mountain, and you can have fun there with friends doing some mountain biking. Yeah.
Is it also like one, I don't know, bike lane towards these mountains, or you need to go by road?
I think that there is not much bike lines there. I haven't been there on bike. I think that it's more about, maybe there is one or two, but from what I've seen, it's more for cars than for bikes. Yeah.
But is it
It can be
safe
difficult.
is it safe to go outside of the city by bike? Do you know?
Again, haven't been there, but I mean, haven't been on the bike there. But I've seen that people are just going downhill on this mountain without I know any thoughts about safety. I think on the road. I mean, on asphalt road where cars are driving. So I think that they don't care about safety there. Yeah.
Let's hope everything will be fine with them.
Yeah.
Victor, can you share how it's in Portugal or in Brazil?
About Portugal, as I said, we have a lot of bicycle paths, so it's okay to ride there. And in the main avenues, we also have some special signals to give priority to people who are riding bicycles. But in smaller avenues, you don't have so much signals. But what the law says is the bicycle can go through the right of the street, and it has to follow the rules as the cars. So, for example, in a situation where we are crossing a street, if the priority is of the other car, the bicycle has to wait. So the car is going to cross, and then the bicycle will cross. And everything here in the traffic is calm, is everything okay? So we usually don't have so much problem. When we don't have a bicycle path, we can ride it in the streets. There's no problem. It's in the law. It's okay. And it's different from Brazil because we don't have, in my city, we don't have so much bicycle paths, and then we have to ride next to the cars in the right of the street. And usually the traffic there is, it's not calm. It's really hard to ride there. So it's not an easy task. It's something to people who have more experience.
And in Croatia, as I understand, there is in Portugal, there is more cyclists, right, in general than in Brazil.
I don't say more, but I would say more infrastructure.
Okay. I have another question for you guys, and Nastya. Where do you study these traffic rules? Do you have like schools and classes in the school, or you go to these meetings and I don't know, some educational events of associations and NGOs, or you just Google and figure out it by yourself?
I think life, of course, teaches you everything, but
sometimes it can be expensive.
yeah, expensive and with negative consequences. So yeah, it's better to Google it in advance. And as I mentioned before, I would add this lesson to the educational system, because not everyone Googles it. And sometimes it's good when people are conscious about the rules, about their health, and also the safety of surrounding people, but not everyone is like this. So yeah, it's a mix of everything, like friends, Google life, and also just general curiosity. I think when I like the saying that there is no me and traffic. We are the traffic. And when you realize this concept, you understand that, okay, let's read more about it. And it would be cool to have an exam for pedestrians, for cyclists in our country.
Yeah, when you get a passport, you need to pass this exam, right?
Yeah, because like I really sometimes I'm anxious, and I don't ride on the carriageway with huge traffic jam, with huge traffic. And then I just like, okay, let's move to the pedestrian line or a bike line if it's good, if there are some. So yeah, that's this makes me Google and be conscious about it.
In Poland, do people like get born already knowing how to move and where to dismount from bicycle, or how it's done?
I believe so.
Okay.
So. The good example is the kindergarten next to my house, So, and in front of this kindergarten, you have a parking lane, bicycle parking lane. Wow. So, and it's around 25, 30 different type of bicycles stored there. Every single day I can see it. So this make me produce an assumption that yes, they supposed to have such kind of lecture starting from kindergarten on how to ride the bike, when you might ride the bike, and what kind of traffic rule you might follow in order not to create any inconvenience for other, for other people around, so to speak, right? So yeah, here's the deal. And another great example, it's basically it's a school, and they do have as a mandatory, this lecture about how to say environmental safety or something, which imply also your behavior during the bike ride or whatsoever.
Nice. Victor, do you know where do people study traffic rules for cyclists in Portugal?
Well, as Anastasia said, life teaches. So in Brazil, I just knew the rules. I don't know how, but when I came here, I was lost because I'm a foreign. So I don't know if can I ride a bicycle? Do I need some special document? I had a lot of questions, but I learned it by my friends. I was always asking them, how can I do it? Do I need some special equipment, some special document, anything? And they were teaching me, we don't need anything special. We just need to use our ID or our passport when we are riding bicycles. It's important to have in the bicycle some things like lights to signalize, things like that. But it's not something tough, it's not so different. You just can ride the bicycle, there's no problem.
Nice. Valentin?
Yeah. So yeah, in Croatia, I think they don't teach like kids in kindergarten or school. I'm not sure. What I think it is, if you have a nice infrastructure in your city, and you are seeing how people's behaving on the bike lines and on the roads, like kids are probably just like ingestion this knowledge, and they becoming good riders. I'm not sure. What I do seen is people almost always ride without helmets. So I don't think that there is some like rules about this either, which is not really well, I think. In Odessa, I've seen many people falling from the bikes and from other types of transportation, like electric scooters and this kind of stuff. So I think helmet is really mandatory for riders. Yeah.
I recently seen a major crash. It was very narrow street, and two guys were walking, and then this scooter driver just hit them in between, and like both of them fell down. It was like very epic. You know, this scooters. It's a kind of very controversial thing,
Yeah.
and a lot of participants of traffic, right? They are not very happy with such a popularity of this mean of transportation. But we will
Yeah.
see. Maybe it will be also regulated and somehow included into the traffic, and we will enjoy all the kinds of sustainable mobility on our streets. Okay. Another question that I had about this, have you noticed any interesting specific signs that cyclists are using, either to show, I don't know, how to turn, or to communicate between themselves? So yeah, any signs that impressed you?
Well, so if I may start, if someone riding the bike within a group of people, which is completely different experience riding a bike solo, and I guess in my point of view, this is the only place where you can learn how to communicate. Because when you are in a solo ride, yeah, of course, you may notice that in some situation you forgot to show your way of moving, or forgot to indicate something you're supposed to start doing or whatsoever, right? Which is completely different when you ride in a group. Because in case you'll miss something in the group, they may create like a huge damage for the whole group, which is ending for the creator not in a good will, right? So no one will say, hey, thank you for big crash or something. The key criteria is when the person in front, it's supposed to be an eyes of the whole group, and this person is supposed to indicate any inconvenience or obstacles on the road. This person is supposed to mark any movement for the whole group, like show the way which group supposed to move, like show the way the group to regroup into the line, for instance, or to group again into the pair or whatsoever, right? And every single group member up until the last one supposed to repeat the signs for the person riding behind, in case the someone missed that, which may also lead to any inconvenience, right? Same goes, for instance, when you decided to eat something during the group ride. So, there's also special procedure, to indicate that you intend to do something which may cause a damage, and ask, for move aside, and then incorporate yourself, so to speak, into the tail of the group, do your stuff, and then fulfill your seat when you was. So yeah, just the bottom line, I guess signs may vary. Like we hope some consciously understand what other person can do or would like to do in that regards, project in the different situation in our life. However, like to be more like gentle equipped. You're supposed to visit a group ride and then learn out of them. That's my point of view. Thank you.
That's actually a very interesting topic about riding with someone, right? I've heard that you also noticed there are families, right, spending some time like in Kyiv, in Krakow, and here like group training or just like spending a time, right, just walking. It's really different experiences. And that's actually our next topic, culture. Share more about this. Do you have some cycling communities or any educational or entertainment events? Maybe Nastya, you can share a bit about the mobility summer in Krakow or another events. I also heard there is an initiative that is called Bike to Work, and it's an international initiative. One day a year, a lot of people gather and go to work by bicycle. So yeah, maybe you've seen something like that. Nastya, maybe you would like to start.
Yeah, sure. Like if we mentioned like mobility summer, I do admire that I was a part of this process, because it's a turning moment for people, for newcomers, especially who aren't kids, but they want to ride a bike, and they sincerely want to understand and want to learn some rules, some peculiarities, some just know the inner part of it. And one of the event was bike school, where the lecturer spoke about riding in Poland, also about rules and fines and taxes. When, for example, a woman was fined because she answered the phone when she was on the pedestrian crossing, and she was fined with 1,500 zlotych, and like the price of this call was, I think, very high for her. Yeah, and also I did movie cinema about cycling in different European cities, and especially, yeah, Netherlands are crazy in a good way for cyclists, because it's a really developed city. And now I just events and culture. And if we speak about Kyiv, I noticed that if I just write bike and Kyiv in Facebook, there are really a lot of organizations, and now they organize rides to gather money for our defenders. So it's a perfect way to combine, health and like we did with e-bikes, with help for defenders. So I think it's like a perfect match.
That's nice. I also know actually what I mentioned before, that the amount of women cycling shows how safe a city is. There is a Cycle Chic event. It was held in the Kyiv for sure, probably in Lviv as well. That's very spectacular thing. A lot of girls in fancy clothes, in these retro bikes or something, and they cycle, and yeah, the streets are closed, so for them to pass, and it's actually the whole festival, and it's really nice because it drags attention to such thing as the usage of a bicycle for every need, not only for commuting or racing, for example. So yeah, guys, maybe you've heard of some events like this in your cities, or you have seen, oh, such a nice cat. Maybe you've seen people cycling with their pets.
Well, I didn't actually, but if we are talking about culture, I guess cycling culture, at least here in Krakow and Poland, they inculcating like since the very beginning, since the kindergarten, and with this cycling runs, type of machine, and regular cycling, and then family ride, and every single weekend the city itself started crowded with the whole families on the bike. There is not that much, a public transportation. People inside the public transport, but they all went out with the bike, which is awesome and like amazing experience being part of this people riding bike across the city.
That's really sweet. Yeah, this bike excursions, it's I think the topic is still to be discovered because it can be a thing. Yeah. Victor, do you know about cycling communities in Porto or Lisbon?
I don't participate of any of them, but in Brazil, my brother, he participates of a community, a group of people who do mountain bike around our city. Around our city, there are small mountains, and all weekends they are riding 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers, all weekends with bicycle. A lot of people, like 40 people riding bicycles in a line. So this is really amazing. They are really active. It's a really active community. Here in Portugal, I don't know. I don't have experience with that kind of group. But talking with my friends, I know that there are a lot of groups like this. And also they make some travels around small cities next to Porto. So for example, we have small cities from centuries ago with a lot of old constructions, and we have some groups that go through that cities by bicycle. And I know that it's an active community, but I don't participate of it.
Okay, so that's also really nice thing, this bike travels. Last year at Intellias, we also had this bike trip. It was my first time when I went outside the city by bike, and we went like 40 something kilometers, and I was like, oh my God, that's so much. And yeah, this year I plan to make 100 also with colleagues of mine. So from my experience, this things of a community, yeah, to have someone to ride with, it actually encourages you and helps you to set some goals and, I don't know, be more involved. Valentin, how about you? Have you ever seen a bunch of people cycling together, or this kind of dogs, right, like moms and their kids?
Yeah, so here I haven't seen any of this. I mean, in Zagreb, but I'm sure that there is like events going on there as well. I just like missed them. In Odessa, I have participated. I think it's in 2 or 3 of such kind of events, like a lot of bicycles just riding through the city. I don't know, it was maybe about like 1,000 or around this bicycles. And to be honest, I don't really like this experience because the such a big crowd moving very slowly. It was in the summer, and it was like only with 2 stops, and basically it's just too hot for such kind of activities in Odessa. Like in the middle of the day, no, it's crazy. And I'm more about like chilling with friends type of person. I have two regular fellows who ride with me in Odessa, and I don't know, we just ride how we feel it. So if you're tired, we'll sit down and drink coffee, and then we will ride and so on. So groups riding, I didn't ride on mountain biking, which I would definitely try in the future. So like riding somewhere outside the city, I don't know, maybe some forest or something like that. Yeah.
That should be great. We're rooting for you. Share stories, pictures, tag Intellias with everything. Yeah, because, as I mentioned at the beginning, we had several Instagram stories or reels, where our colleagues were cycling around the different cities. There was Sofia, Krakow, Kyiv, and I think it was one more city. Never mind. Lviv. Yeah, Lviv. Sorry, I forgot about my city. Yeah, so if you want, you can check our Instagram and see that. And for now, our event is going to the end. I have the last, not a question, but share the most fun and unexpected story that is connected with bicycle. It was either with you or your friends, or you just witnessed something. Yeah, just share something like this. Maybe Valentin, you would like to start?
Yeah, I think I have something in my mind. In the very beginning of my bike career, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was riding with my friends in the middle of forest on the very narrow trail. And that's related to what Artem just said. It was a group of people riding very closely together, and one of the friends in the back seen a rainbow. He starts screaming like, "Hey, stop, everyone, let's stop here." And everyone just do the brakes, and we all crash together, fall over, and then like, "Hey, what is this about?" And he said, "It's a rainbow."
And everyone is like, "Oh, that was so nice, right?"
Yeah.
Thanks for the major crash.
Yeah.
I
That's
hope
for me.
you didn't damage yourself that much, and you were able to continue your ride.
Yeah, it was fine.
Great. Victor, did something epic happen to you?
Not so much, but I remember the first and the only time I was in a group of people riding bicycles. It was me, my brother, and his friends, and they have a lot of experience doing mountain bike, that kind of 50 kilometers traveled, 100 kilometers traveled, but I just like to ride the bicycle for fun. And they said, "Hey, let's go walk around the city, ride around the city, just something for fun, 20 kilometers." And I thought, oh, it's okay, it's inside the city, it's not going to be so harder. But I didn't know it's so hard to ride 20 kilometers. I was the last one and I was destroyed.
So if you check our previous post, you can find some bike yoga. In case this experience will happen to you again, just stretch your muscles and make your body relaxed in the right way. Thank you for sharing. Nastya?
My story is about the importance of rules, because last year I tried mountain cycling in France, and I know French language, but it's like, like slow mode French. But French people, they speak really fast, and when the speaker explained all the rules, he's like, "It's very important, like you should know it, because right now we will go on onto the mountains." And I'm like standing and understand that I didn't understand anything, and I'm like, okay, let's improvise. But thanks God, he understand that other people, like foreigner, they cannot understand everything, and he checks everything, and then I understood that, yeah, it was indeed the necessary rules for riding, because after it I was going, and I understand, like, I know everything, that's good, and then hoba, and I'm like falling on the roads, and he's like, "Hey, girl, like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. But still, you understand that rules are the first thing that you should check and you should train. And then, but like in general, it was a really amazing experience. Like I know that in Carpathians there are a lot of tours with mountain bikes, and I even found like a tour from Krakow to Lviv, but I don't think I will go for it. You know, like with the suitcases, my backpack. But still, maybe for future plan, it's an interesting experience.
Yeah, actually, this cycling traveling, it's getting more and more popular. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is an organization or some initiative called Eurovelo. Yeah, it's called something like this. And they have a road all around the Europe, so you can actually travel. And it's made in the way every 60 or 70 kilometers, there is some town or city where you can stop, you can refill your water and stay at some hotel, have a rest, and then continue. So yeah, and I've heard that this road actually goes to Lviv and then to Kyiv and then to Kharkiv, but I think they haven't marked it officially yet. That was the plan for this year. I've heard about this, at the end of winter. Hopefully, we will come back to that plan and make it happen. So yeah. Okay, Artem. Artem, I'm sure you have some nice story to leave at the great note.
Well, there are plenty of them. I mean, but I would like to share in emotions, right? So because we all, I bet, riding the bike is about emotions. Whether be it community, whether be it like for sport, for everything, for hanging with the friends, for being out in the forest. Two emotions. Emotions number one, it's been like the first impression when you have a clip boots. Do you know it's a special bike boots and a special pedal when you clip yourself on a bike and you become one single hole. And it's really weird. Yes, and it's weird if you decided to stop and you decided to move your legs and your legs are fit kind of closed in the bike and you decided to lay down together with your bike. And just someone, passerby asking, hey man, what's going on? And say, no, nothing, just decided to lay down. So this is a weird situation. I kind of fell, first time wearing these clip boots. And yeah, the second emotion is more about adrenaline emotions. It's like we're all about emotion. So I used to road bikes, right? And it's about speed. Especially when you're riding from the top of the mountain to the bottom on the paved road, of course. And I remember in Carpathian, it was this Yablonitsky Perival or somewhere like next to Yarencheva Rokhta, somewhere there, and was about like absolutely empty free road. It was about near 6 a.m. in the morning, like it was chilly autumn, fresh September morning, and you are alone. Riding about like up to 70 kilometers per hour like a bullet on your bike with these clip shoes, and it's a once in a lifetime experience, so to speak, right? To driving the spectacular view on this kind of speed, being alone across the whole nature. It's like, it's you like an ant and in a universe, so to speak, because no one there. Absolutely no one there, and it's worth to live for this moment. Yeah, that's my stories.
Wow. Do you use some glasses when you cycle that fast?
I do, of course, even not that fast. Yes, it's like mandatory things together with the helmet, and the lights. So it's kind of I won't think that in the saddle not having the glasses. Yeah.
Because once I reached the speed of like 42 or something, and my tears were literally just dropping off because it was so intense, and it was really fast for me. I cannot imagine driving like twice fast almost. That's incredible.
That's the case. That's really incredible.
Yeah, we should definitely try it someday. Okay. Thank you so much, my dear colleagues, and thank you everyone who joined us today. I just will remind you that cycling is really nice, and the eco-mobility can help our cities to be more smart and sustainable, and it helps us to stay fit and healthy. And also it can help our soldiers to fight and to stay unnoticed on the front line. So click the link below this video, and there is a fundraiser and you can donate for powerful electric bikes. And yeah, what else is said there? Like, subscribe, share, and everything. Yeah. By this, I announce our eco-mobility summer project over for this year, and let's stay in touch and see what else we will do to develop eco-mobility in this world. Thank you again, everyone. Have a nice evening.